Cut the Check podcast, brought to you by Craft Farmer, bringing you weekly motivation, unmatched cultivation tech, and telling you some badass war stories along the way.
So, Crafty, how do we want to start the show today?
Shout out to our sponsors.
Oh, yes. Let's shout them out.
Thank you, Grow Generation, for believing in the message, the delivery, everything we have to say, everything we have to share. Shout out to our sponsors, the people who believe in your program enough where they're going to put some of their means behind it and allow you to broadcast whatever you have to say or whatever you want to share with your audience all over the world. This is amazing. So
yeah, they're letting us have this show.
Thank you to our sponsor, Grow Generation. Thank you to Rex. Shout out to Starfire Genetics, home of your exotic beans. Time to be popping.
Pop them.
Pop them.
Pop them.
Little water. Little H2O2.
What's
little drip is the tech.
Little drip?
Little drip.
On the beans?
On the bean. Bean or beans, plural.
Not in the soil, though. Don't you? You want to throw them in a little moist paper towel?
Or
nutrient-enriched paper towel?
Or a goblet of water.
Goblet?
Yeah.
That's a larger glass.
Yeah. I mean, you're throwing some
throw
beans
a fucking
in.
bean and...
I mean, 12-pack.
I thought they need a little pressure.
24.
Pressure to pop. You just throw them all? Throw 24 beans in a goblet?
Bro, ever since I forgot about my beans in the paper towel and the paper towel dried all up and ruined all my seeds, I've always gone to the full plunge.
Just let them go, huh?
Full plunge. So shout out to our sponsors, Grow Generation. Thank you for making the show possible. Tree Star, Starfire Genetics, Bean Poppin'. It's like an easier lotto system. Because look, even if you don't have a winner, you still got smoke.
You're still going to win.
A ticket is nothing.
Still going to win.
Man, and when you hit it right and you get a winner, life-changing.
When you're going in blind, popping beans like that, do you want to veg them out and try to clone them just in case you hit a winner? Because if you go and just flour them, you're like, fuck!
For sure.
You got to fucking clone those.
There's quite a few techniques that people use. It's challenging. It's challenging as fuck.
What do you mean techniques? After the bean pop and you got a teenage
because
plant?
there's a lot of shit that, like when the bean pops and you got to then cut clones and back it up and back it up and back it up and back it up and store it somewhere and keep it growing and make sure it doesn't get all fucked off with bugs and powder mildew. And at the same time, you're going through your hunt. So let's say you pop the beans. You should never hunt off of a seed, technically. You can do whatever you want, but...
I mean, if you're going to...
The seed gods have told me personally. They have personally reached out.
Are the seed gods and the grow gods different gods?
Oh, yeah. You think the sun god and the rain god is the same thing? Like,
I mean,
if you
if
you focus on what you're good at, like me, I've always focused on being a cultivator. I've never tried being a distro person or a backpack boy or duffel bag man. I've never done any of that shit. I've always been like, okay, like I've never bred. I've really just focused on the one thing that my lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of other people can be multifaceted. You know, like my homie Uncle Dad vibes. David Preferred Gardens. A lot of people are multifaceted.
You are too. Give yourself a little more credit there, Craft Farmer.
I'm talking about just in the cultivation sense of like breeding their own stuff, hunting their own genetics, keeping their own nurseries. Like I was able to come up in my way, and then how I did it is hard in its own. When you're just growing flower that the whole world already has, and there's already fucking abundance of all these readily available strains, you have to grow really, really good to get noticed.
Yeah.
And so I always just grew what I could get, but I had to learn the trade of growing it really well. So when mine was set next to 75 other people's same flavor, I stood out.
Is it going to stand out?
So, but now later in my life, meeting all these other really good people that are amazing in what they've excelled at has now like made this fucking super pack. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like just thinking about Craft Farmer and myself and the people I've been able to manifest around and who will participate in whatever idea I have or support me in whatever endeavor. It's just cool because I don't want to do any of this shit on my own, nor could I.
Yeah.
I need
a lot of
people
work.
like Ian who has that passion and we can share our same feelings on, oh, let's breed these strains and let's do this. And then we need motherfuckers like Dank Mob who has, he's the doctor. He's like the surgeon in the streets.
Purebred hustler.
Purebred hustler. But with that being said, like knows the pulse.
Yep.
He knows exactly what they want, the flavor profile. Like, it's amazing. Just he can come to us and be like, yo, we need to take this, cross it to this, and then take that and cross it to that, and then we do that, and they're like hitters. Like, he comes back and he's like, they're fucking with this hard. They think this is the best weed they've ever smoked.
Yeah.
Like, without that, we don't get to do any of the stuff we do.
Yeah.
That's why that's just as important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
And then once he comes back with that report, Uncle
my
Dad
God, we
vibes
find
like,
one.
got you, fam. Give me fucking 4 months. Bam.
I mean, just that task is
Your prayer has been answered. That's pretty incredible.
what I'm saying is teamwork is where it's at. If you can find, and it's taken me a long time. It's taken me 20 years to find people that I can continue to work with and like weird shit hasn't happened and people don't get fucking greedy, because that's really the root of all fallout.
Yeah.
Is greed. Someone gets greed, but man, what were we?
We were talking about beans.
Yeah, so
And-
we're popping lots of beans over here. We got exciting shit coming up. I see everybody out there popping beans. It's great to see so many fire crosses available and all these breeders doing their work. And I'm just saying, this camp has some crazy shit coming.
I know. It's exciting.
Fire. And it's not just random shit. We're like, oh, I like that. I like that. Like,
This shit's by design.
yeah, this is focused on what requests have been coming in and what people are buying. And like right now, everybody needs to focus on growing really good fucking flower, fire, but you have to grow what the market is asking for. And that's as important as anything nowadays. So
I imagine it's hard, though, for a lot of people that may not have some of the connections that you have to get their hands on some of these strains and some of this shit that's highly
I don't even
desired.
think my connections are great. I'm not like...
Well, I mean, look at your team. You're just talking about your
For
team.
sure, but those are people that like we've attracted one another through our own work. You know what
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my point, though, is that not everybody has, the people around them, whether it's a team or the resources, to fucking put their hands on that pulse. And they're like, fuck, I mean, I'm growing. I'm already invested. But, I got
to get noticed.
Yeah.
You got to do enough to be seen. That's what I have to say about that. Even when you're put in dire situations and you're put in the middle of nowhere down a dirt road on the top of the hill, somehow you have to make yourself be known and be seen. You got to grow some crazy fucking work, take it down the hill, and get in front of people. I don't know any other way. The only way I can say is what I've done, because I don't know any other way.
Yeah. That is the way.
Banging on doors, getting in front of people, trying to have something that smokes different than everyone else. That's the only way that I know. Hard work, determination, being noticed. Everybody's like, man, how do you get in the industry? Be fucking noticed.
Yeah.
Get in there and
start
fucking
somewhere.
polish that floor like it's never been polished.
Yep, you got
Dead serious.
Start at the bottom and fucking work your ass off, get noticed, get promoted.
Pack more fucking bags of soil than The dude next to you.
My thing has always been, you know, when an opportunity presents itself, take that and fucking run with it. Because opportunities
Even
will
if you
come
don't know,
and go.
for sure.
Opportunities will come and go, but when you seize that and fucking run and excel, that's how you get noticed and that's how you get promoted. It doesn't matter if it's cannabis or
For sure.
the music industry or, you know, people like used to ask me like, oh, how do I become a tour manager? You know, and it's like a little bit of luck, but like fucking hard work and do good and take those opportunities and run to the hills with
And
it.
get noticed.
Yeah. Be loud.
When you don't have any kind of like somebody putting you in a position and you're just coming from nowhere and you want to be something or make it somewhere, you have to get noticed. It like takes me back to, remember when I wanted to do car audio so fucking bad? Remember how into it I was? Like no job at a shop. I remember the very first time I went to work at a shop, they were like, we're not hiring you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, dude, this is my destiny, like car audio.
Yeah.
Look what I did without any fucking training. Look at this system and this custom box with the plexiglass. Listen to my shit pound. Get your best fucking car in the parking lot right now, squid. You don't want to fucking hire me? Who the fuck's vacuuming that floor? Looks like shit. I know how to vacuum like the fucking White House. Let's go. But
And then you do it, then you got to follow through.
Dude, I remember I finally got that job at Custom Car Audio. Remember I was going there like at night and after work and hanging out and have my system.
Yep. Yeah, you were just hanging in the showroom for fucking hours.
I wanted that.
They're like,
whatever
who
it was
the
gonna
fuck
take.
is this guy?
Whatever it was going to take.
This little kid just comes and hangs out in the demo room, fucking bumping all of our demo decks.
Well, I first just started going and hanging out, sweeping the floor. Like,
you just went in and grabbed a broom and were just sweeping?
yeah, I'd just start doing
Like,
shit.
what the fuck is this guy doing over here?
But they noticed
Shit,
that.
he's coming back again.
They noticed
Dude,
that.
4 days in a row, here comes the kid who sweeps.
Pounding in the parking lot. Boom,
Just
boom.
rattling.
Rattling.
'Cause that was before your system was, you know, highly elevated. You saw the little rattle.
But I got that job.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. They sat me down. They're like, we're going to pay you less than you're making now at the body shop, sweeping that place, but
Here's
you can
your
work
in.
here.
Here's your in.
Here's your in. And I got in. Dude, I'll never forget it. The very first, like my first day, Chris, friend of mine now, Chris Bishop's still here.
Yep.
Still owns Custom Car Audio. He must have been in his 30s, younger than me. And
Younger than you now.
Younger than me now.
Yeah.
And
Hey, happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Just turned 39
I'm
a few
old.
days ago. Dude, you don't look like it. The grays are coming out, but I think you do that to yourself with your schedule.
I think I'm going to do some Just for Men gel.
Oh, shit. No one can tell with Just for Men gel.
So I think I'm going to hit some of that if I keep it around. I don't really like the whole fucking
It's worth a test run.
peppered chin.
You don't strike me as a silver fox.
Anyways,
Happy birthday, brother.
thank you. So my very first day, Chris hands me the vacuum, and you know that's the first thing you do in the morning, vacuum the store. He's like, you know how to vacuum? I was like, yeah, for sure, I've got this. He's like, no. I was like, what? He's like, he's like,
He's
has
intense.
this intensity to
Yeah.
him, you know? And he's like looking at me
Intimidating.
like this. And dude, I was intimidated when I was younger by him. Like,
Because you have this opportunity and you don't want to fuck it up either. And then here's this guy.
and he was intense, you know? And so he's the kind of intensity, like he'll say a joke and laugh hysterically. And then if you don't laugh, he'll just stop and stare at you until you're like, ha, ha, ha. And then he's like, ha, ha. Just kind of weird, you know? You're like,
Yeah.
Anyways, so I was like, yeah, I know how to vacuum, you know? And he like grabbed the vacuum. Like I went to go use it. And he's like, you don't know how to fucking vacuum because I haven't showed you how to vacuum. And I was like, he's like, everything you think you fucking know, you don't know anything.
About vacuuming or in life?
I think everything.
That's fucked up.
And I was like, he's like, anything you think you know how to do, you don't know. And I'm going to show you how I want it done. And I was like,
Pretty clear.
I was like, He's like, we won't have any fucking problems. Right?
Sheesh.
And I was like, yeah, right. And so he was like, when you start vacuuming, you start at this corner and you only go this way. And he showed me how he wanted the store vacuumed. He's like, takes 15 minutes from 9 to 9:15 every morning. Every time you show up on time, this is how you vacuum, where you start, where you finish. Don't think about me, what I'm doing. If I don't talk to you, don't talk to me.
Damn, dude. That's an
like,
intimidating.
fuck
That's
it,
an
let's
intimidating
go.
first day, dude.
I was stoked, dude. I'm in the fucking... And then on the other side, you have Tim McConkey, you know, who
Tim's
I
the
really
shit.
learned everything from. Tim was a couple years older than me. I'm fucking 19, 20. He's 22. Like, the sound room had 30 fucking stereos on it, the baddest stereos in the industry.
Alpine was leading the way back then.
Alpine, Sony, Pine, but Alpine was always been fucking top notch.
Yeah.
And then you'd go in there and you'd have all your speakers and they wrapped it in leopard skin and it was soundproof box and all the subs, WJL shit, like badass stuff. You'd be like, boom, pounding, like fucking loved it.
And that's all shit they built custom for the store, right?
Yeah, they
was
built
all-
that sound room.
Yeah.
Had the switcher on it. It would switch all the decks, the speakers, the
It was
amps.
pretty incredible.
So fucking cool. Moral of that story.
You were going to say Tim was like the opposite of Chris, right?
Yeah, we had amazing time together. Really good with customers. I met Josh Solari at Custom Car Audio. Shout out to One Life Exotic. Still my longest friend in Sonoma County.
Wow.
When I first met him, he was 15 years old.
No way.
16. He just fucking rolled up in his car. He was 16 years old, went to Petaluma High School.
That's incredible.
Dude, and we hit it off right away.
Josh is an easy guy to get along with.
Yeah, but
He's a nice guy.
But he's special. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, I've met a lot of people in my life. A lot of people come and go, and takes a very special person to really stick out. And Josh sticks out. Love being around Josh. But and then just seeing everything he's done, and you know what I mean, like watching him come up. You know, and we need to get him on the show. He had some legendary shit.
Oh my God.
The dopest like trapdoor grows ever.
I worked in one of them for him for a little while there. Right there off Santa Rosa Ave.
That was crazy, dude.
right
that
under your fucking nose.
that
You'd never
spot
even
he
know
had.
it. Right next to a little dirt bike shop. Like, what?
That at that time was the biggest grow I'd ever seen. Like going in there and seeing the wall and all his tables running, and it was just like, that was just so big back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We were in our 20s, I think.
I was young.
But I'm just saying, like, we did some ballsy shit, you know?
You did some pretty epic shit, dude.
Yeah.
to put it lightly, you did some fucking epic stuff.
For sure.
You crazy asshole.
Dude, there's so much craziness came with it, too. You know, just fucking wild. Anyway, seizing the moment. Like, I feel like entire careers and people can be in places in their life that they never, ever dreamed or ever expected, just based on skills that you can teach yourself. Right? Like, people don't really think that, but there's skills that I feel like you can teach yourself, like awareness. Awareness is so fucking important and so overlooked by so many. I see so many even skilled humans in whatever trade they're doing, and they overlook awareness. I feel like awareness, work ethic, these are things you can practice on your own.
Yeah.
You know, awareness of what's around you, how you keep your shit organized, cleanliness, your room, your car, your bed, your clothing, your office, any shit like that. If you start working on those small details on your own, when it comes to a job situation, like, that's what impresses me. When I'm around somebody and I see little shit they're doing, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to keep my eye on this guy. Like this person has opportunity, because that's shit that like you can't really teach on a job. Like you can take people and be like, hey man, I want you to do this and do that and do this. And then like on a daily basis, you see things still being overlooked.
Mm-hmm. Those little intricacies that you're talking about it takes time. It's learned over time and experience, and that awareness that you're talking about, it takes years.
If you can start, it does. If you can start at an early age and be self-aware of those things, you'll be able to do things that you never imagined, because everything else you can learn, you can teach, but almost like that work ethic and awareness, that hustle, like you can't really teach that to somebody. Like you either have it or you don't. You can teach people ways to hustle, but like if you have that drive, like, look, I'm willing to put in fucking 10, 12 hours and I'm going to do this the best possible way. And I'm going to look around before I'm done and make sure everything's fucking clean. And like these little details that you can really practice on your own, really people notice is what I'm saying. So if you don't have skills, but you go and you're doing a job with those small things that you're practicing and that you're aware of the awareness and looking around and making sure everything's right and organized and detailed, and it speaks for you when you're not there and someone looks at this, or they look at a task they've given you and you're not there, it represents you. And that can put you into other huge opportunities. Dude, this is fucking nuts. You want to hear something crazy? We had the Craft Farmer Academy. One of my biggest fucking baddest customers to date, friend of mine. I get to become friends with customers, which is really cool, because it's not just like a sale. Like I'm helping them out and we're talking, how are things going? Like you just vibe with them, you know? Building a badass project in Massachusetts. Badass. Like he's like, Lance, lace me up with the best everything. I had my design team do the whole fucking 14-room facility.
Wow.
50-something LED lights in every room, state-of-the-art, fucking next-gen benches, Patterson fans, Gavita LED, and D-Hughes, Craft Farmer whip kits, Craft Farmer everything, laced up, Agrotech controls, at the fucking Craft Farmer Academy that he flew in and bought a ticket to learn everything also. Guess who's there? Tons of growers.
Yep.
And he needs a fucking head of cultivation for his facility. He picked him up at the fucking Craft Farmer Academy. Sean from Wallala.
That's amazing.
From Wallala is moving to fucking Massachusetts to go run this fucking massive fucking grow.
No way. Wow.
So just being there, and he's like got a grow on the coast, but grows good fucking weed, and he just needed it as an opportunity.
Yep. An opportunity.
And you go there and you see somebody who's investing in themselves to learn to be better. And he said it more times, like, dude, I think I'm like ready to move on. Like, if you know of a job or this, and I'm like, man, I can't think of anyone. And that happened on its own.
Mm-hmm. And that speaks volumes. And also that's the reason that you started the High Society Social Club for shit like that, for people to come together, connect, and find maybe new partners,
There's a lot of shit going on right now in the industry, like fake cuts being sold and shit with Hop Layton and tons of fake accounts suckering people for money, and people are sending money for seeds and joining this and joining that. And there's a lot of like just fuckery happening. Well, there's fuckery happening on my side when it comes to helping people also. And I need a way to put a barrier in between and really only help people who are serious and can take that pledge. And that's how the fucking High Society came apart, is like, this is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. We have to somehow have a way where we can separate waste of time. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean that in any, negative way, and who's really serious, so I can focus on having a really cool situation and experience for those people.
Yeah.
And so that's why we started the social club. But within that,
Opportunities
massive
exist.
opportunities exist. Massive.
We
Can't
don't-
even talk about some of the opportunities.
Well, we don't even know what they are until we
Exactly.
come together, until these people start talking with each other and talking to you. And, you know, that's how that shit works.
So
but
many-
always being aware and ready for opportunity, ready to strike.
So many amazing opportunities, and a lot of other stuff came out of there too. You know, other cool things and people meeting other people and getting cuts, and then
And the education.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was really all about, the education.
1,000%. But yeah, that was just a cool story I wanted to share.
That is really, really cool.
They're finalizing all that, and that's happening. So
Sean's already moved. He's living
hasn't
out
moved
there.
yet. They're finished building that facility. He's just ready to go though.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I think they're on their last leg of finishing. I'd say their last quarter of wrapping that place up
Very cool. Craft Farmer Academy.
from the Craft Farmer Academy.
Digital copies of the Craft Farmer Academy are now available
For Patreon members, past
and
and
present.
present. So if you couldn't make that class, you're a Patreon member. What is it when we edit it all up? 4 hours, 5
A little
hours?
over 4 hours.
Really cool. We watched it yesterday. So much good information.
So much.
We're applying some of that stuff now and the stuff we're doing. And yeah, I'm showing you everything works. Everything that we're teaching, everything that we're sharing through the platforms, we're doing it live right now for the world to see. Michigan, everything that I teach, I'm implementing there while I'm here, crushing it.
Yep.
All the water delivery, the dosing systems, the whip kits, all that, flawless victory. It's all working, crushing. So we got the blueprint. If you want it, tap the fuck in. Thank you to our sponsor, Grow Generation, your one-stop shop for all your cultivation and gardening supplies. Grow Generation has everything you need under one roof. They also have a full commercial cultivation team that can make sure you have all the supplies you need to keep your gardens firing on all cylinders. Check out Grow Generation to find your closest retailer or reach out to Grow Generation on Instagram. Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. What else going on?
Not a much. I read this article. What's this Instagram page? The Blacklist.
Oh yeah, ever since I showed you
Dude,
that place, right?
I go down the fucking rabbit hole.
There's some crazy shit.
Dude.
They find all of it out too.
So, this was posted 2 days ago.
And people are doing some crazy shit out there to make $1. Dude,
check this out. In Oregon, doesn't even at the beginning of the article doesn't say what county or where. It just says Oregon. SWAT team aids in a marijuana bust. Illegal marijuana enforcement team detectives joined forces with SWAT to raid at an elevated threat level due to the site's connection to a drug trafficking organization. They raided 6,800 plants, over 9,000 pounds. Processed and ready pounds.
damn.
34 greenhouses. And several, what I'm calling shanties that people were living in, made of wood and chicken wire and tarps.
Did people get wrapped up?
Well, it has one guy's name,
Read the last name.
Sandoval.
Cartel.
Dude, how big does that property have to be? How big do your balls have to be to have 34 fucking illegal greenhouses? Like, you can't hide that.
I wonder if it was registered at one time and then they went back to the
say
dark side.
Didn't say anything about it. Jackson County, Oregon.
Well, here's the thing. If they just raided them, how many years has it been operating?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Oregon, they go balls to the wall. Like,
It's just like, let's just fucking do this. We're going to do it for as long until then when we get busted, fucking you guys are going to go to prison and we're going to make the fucking millions that we make and just know that it's going to eventually going to happen.
how many pounds? They had 9,000 pounds.
Over 9,000.
So if each pound was $200, how much would that be?
What?
180,
Each pound was what?
$200.
180 thou. $200.
Bro.
I mean, that's what it is now.
I'm thinking Shantytown isn't putting out fire depths. We got any pictures?
Not. I'd have to.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
Photos. I'll get some pictures to Ian.
That the Cartel Wook Factory is not putting out premium flour.
Are there Wooks in the cartels? Wook and cartel to me
you think Wooks are only white people?
Just some fucking stink bomb who attends festivals and smokes fucking less than mid.
I mean,
tries to come up. He's like, "Hey man, can I get a job in your grow?"
It's a pretty broad term. You have to think about. There's probably like 1 million people that descend down in season to trim. Like back in 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Me and Juan were talking about it. I mean, like, if me and my homeboy had 40 trimmers on one site, think about the thousands of other farms up there, even doing it on a larger level than us.
It's hard to even. I mean, just think about like just in Humboldt County, just countywide.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're talking about so many people, like
thousands and thousands of people descend on in California. Now, I mean, it's beyond.
That was probably some kind of slave or fucked up labor situation with whatever was going on there at that place. You know,
it's nuts.
A lot of that shit happens.
But yeah, I mean, like something that big, a compound that big, like you have to know that whoever's like the the brainchild behind that has to know that eventually
crazy
we're gonna
fucking
get popped.
Times right now, like crazy times.
Dude, what is a harvest of that scale? You know, I mean, yeah, you can.
You know Big Toby.
You
know Big Toby.
I don't think I know Big Toby. Do I know Big Toby?
6'4", 250, drives that big white van.
Yes,
this fucked up van.
Yeah,
looks like he lives in it. Toby got sideswiped last week. Fucking Nissan. I don't even know what it was called. Rev or some little egg-looking vehicle. Just fucking creamed into the side of his sliding door right on Todd Road. Fucking T-boned him. Boom.
Oh my God.
He was fucking pissed.
Yeah, understandably.
So he gets out. Pissed as fuck, screaming, yelling. Sorry, Mr. George. George. He literally told me this dude came out and started saying, "Sorry, George. I'm sorry, George." He's like, "My name's not fucking George. You just fucked my van up." Cops came. It was a mess. Like, he couldn't even drive his van away. Sideswiped the van.
Middle of the intersection.
He's trying to talk to this guy. Getting fucking nowhere. Dude doesn't have insurance. Uninsured. Nothing happens. Told that Toby better have fucking uninsured motorist. Or his insurance doesn't even cover him.
It's fucked up.
Nothing happens to the dude who smoked him. Fucked up his car. Driving without insurance.
Did he have a license? I mean,
I don't know the facts of that.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal to drive without insurance.
It is.
I don't know what the punishment is.
A ticket.
A fine.
And then if you don't get paid. If you don't go, and you just drive the next car.
Fuck, dude.
I'd imagine.
That's terrible. Dude, Let your friend borrow a vehicle. That friend lets some other friend borrow it. Well, what friend is this?
It gets stolen because everybody's just trying to do a good fucking deed.
Sounds familiar.
And you don't have full coverage on your old 2001 fucking 4-door long bed. Gone for good. Nothing.
Sorry.
That's what they say.
That's what the friend says.
So like now we have to do shit. We're like, we have to think about levels of protection that we never thought about before even, you know? So you don't get fucked. And a lot of times, like, it's on your mind to get it taken care of, and then you just don't ever fucking do it. You're like, oh, it's on my list. I'll take care of it tomorrow. Gotta fucking take care of it today.
Shit like that is like at the front of the list. I mean,
so Toby didn't have fucking uninsured motorists. His van's gone. He fucking lost it. Went ape shit. Started pounding the fucking dude, calling him George. Started like pounding his hood like a fucking gorilla, redneck fucking gorilla. He lost it.
I mean, I guess that's
arrested.
No.
Arrested on site
because he's doing this in front of the fucking police.
When the police when the officer's like, you know, nothing we can do. You're gonna have to, you know, your vehicle you need to get towed. Like he lost it. You know, like
I might too. I mean, you can be collected.
He
all
started
the time.
fucking hammer fisting. Even the dude's car was like fucked up. He just lost it and started.
It wasn't about damaging his car. It was about letting out the fucking rage, dude.
He couldn't keep it in.
Sometimes you have a boiling point. I think we all do.
Long story short, he hammer fisted. Double Thor. He double Thored the fucking dude's hood. Destroyed it. Got arrested. Went to fucking jail.
Jesus.
Fucked.
Dude.
Vans. Dude, he woke up in the morning going to do a tile job. By 10:30, coming back, like leaving Friedman Brothers, van's destroyed. He's arrested. Has no van anymore. And has now gotten himself into debt because of the tow, the fucking bailing out of jail, hiring a lawyer.
That's so...
He's got a fucked situation.
So backwards.
And now everything, like a felony, is the line for felony is if the damage is $500 or more, or if you steal something that's $500 or more, fucking everything you do is more than $500.
Was Toby charged with a felony?
Yeah,
I mean,
felony,
reckless. The hammer fists didn't cause the $500 in damage. The fucking guy's negligence did.
His hood had $500 more of damage from the hammer fisting.
Wow.
Like he just did the berserk, like letting the long arms go, like pounded
like
the fucking
Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Just trying to make an honest living. Dude, I got pretty lucky
recently
with an insurance situation. I got a badass new BMW motorcycle last year. Fucking bike of my dreams. And
where'd you get that?
I bought it from you. You bought this bike and never rode it.
Like twice.
So you're like, I'm going to sell this bike. And I'm just like, butt puckers. Like, no, what do I need to do? Boom. Gave you the cash. You name your price. I gave you the cash right away. So I got this fucking prized possession,
Dad
dude.
named the price.
This fucking bike of my dreams. Garaged, covered, battery tendered,
no
fucking
miles,
polished every day. That fucker, I treat it better than myself. So I got the bike, and I recently got a new car too. Sold the Maserati, got a Beamer.
Damn, moving up.
I wasn't planning on getting a Beamer, but the opportunity was just
presented itself.
So I'm at home. Beamer's parked on the side of the road by the mailbox. I back my motorcycle down right in front of the car. So the car is facing this way, motorcycle's like that in front of the car, right? Back tire off the curb.
In front of your car?
Yeah. Yeah, like 5 feet in front of my car, the way you'd park a motorcycle. And so me and Mike are getting ready. We're going to go ride out to the coast, you know, have a nice, it's a Wednesday morning. So Mike and I are walking down, you know, the driveway. I'm walking towards my bike, and the neighbor's parked on the other side of the driveway, right? And like he's backing up to like pull into the road. Fucking neighbor backs. I'm like, whoa! He fucking backed into my motorcycle. Bam! Motorcycle fucking falls onto the hood of the BMW.
Oh my fucking God.
Right in front of me in slow motion. And I was like, oh! what the fuck? Dude's like, oh, talking about boiling point. I'm like,
Just
fucking
fuck both your rigs up.
dude. Both of them in one fucking foul swoop right in front of me. I'm like shaking. I'm fucking so angry. Talking about the boiling point.
Oh my
So,
God. Fucking idiot.
At this point in my life,
Because your shit's in front of your house. It's not
Dude.
even like in the middle of the road.
completely out of the fucking way.
What kind of dumbass has to go across both lanes and smoke someone else's shit?
It was in this. It was parked in front of my car. So if my car's on the side of the road, his is parked up here. Driveway's right here. Backs up too far into the bike. So at this point in my life,
His shit isn't beeping and fucking backup cameras isn't lit up on his screen. What kind of
Apparently not.
moron is this
Apparently
guy?
not.
What's his name?
So listen.
What's he driving?
I won't disclose it.
What's dipshit
It's
driving?
like a SUV. So listen. We're talking about the boiling point, and homeboy smashing the fucking hood of this guy's car. So in the last several years, I've like really made a point to just fucking process things
sure.
before I react. Done a pretty good job at this point. Obviously, I'm fucking enraged. I can't believe that both of my prized possessions are. So I run to the bike, fucking pick it up. It's, damaged. The cylinder head's fucking scratched. The handlebar cover ends are scratched. The lever, mirrors, all this shit. Look at the Beamer. Fucking big old ding right in the the bumper.
Jesus Christ.
So I sat there for a minute. I'm like, fuck. And like I took a minute.
Well, this guy parked his car.
My heart's beating. I'm like so fucking angry. My heart's like beating out of my chest. Like I breathe for a minute. I'm like, fuck. So I go over. You got insurance? Good. Let's make a fucking claim. But and everything was fine. I ended up getting it fixed in the long run. But the inconvenience that it caused, I had to take the car to a shop. I had to take the motorcycle to the BMW dealer. Had to get quotes. All this shit. And then like obviously like I looked up my own parts list and stuff like that. And I went to the BMW dealer and they're like, oh, you used to work here as a salesman a long time ago. I'm like, yeah. So they give me like, a discount on the quote. And I had to call them up. I'm like, hey, this is an insurance claim. Can you remove the discount, please? Because like,
Yeah.
And so.
And then you got the discount and put a little change in the packet.
It took a while, but I ended up getting.
What did the damage of both vehicles end up costing?
It was like, probably over $7,000.
Jesus Christ.
Because you're also looking at like labor hours, and the labor at the BMW motorcycle dealer is like $250 an hour.
God damn.
So anyway, though, my point of that was we were talking about insurance and this guy losing his shit. Like I knew that my stuff was insured, and as mad as I wanted to like yell and scream at this guy and like berate him, I like breathed. And so after it was said and done, like Mike's standing there and I'm like angry. I'm like, don't want to talk. And Mike's like, he's like, the ride's over. We're not going on a ride. I'm like, well, we going? Let's go. Let's fucking ride. Cause the bike, it was mostly cosmetic.
Yeah.
So we still went on the ride, and about like 15 minutes in, like once I start getting the wind in my sail and I hit fucking 95 in fifth gear, I'm like, okay, we're good. Everything's going to be okay. But, I could have lost it and went and punched the guy in the face and gone to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was heavy. It sucked.
Or you could have not letting it go and it fucked your ride up and something bad happened in the ride because you're not thinking clearly.
Holding on to this like negative ball of
bullshit.
Yeah. But, like shit happens all the time that's out of our control.
You've done really well in life staying out of shit, whereas I've done really well getting into shit.
So
I can't even think of anything you've like even got into in your adult life that is outside the normal. You know what I'm saying?
I've learned a lot from my big brother. What not to do. Dude, it goes back to when we were growing up and Vicky was teaching you how to drive the 4-speed manual Honda Civic hatchback, 84. And I'd sit in the back. You're like 15. Dude's fucking can't even take off in first gear. You know, you learn eventually, but I'm in the back just watching and soaking all this up. Dude, I couldn't wait until it was my turn. The first time I got in the car with Vicky, bam, done.
What was your
Forget
first
about it.
opportunity to drive?
When I got my permit.
You had to wait that long?
I mean, I think I'd driven
She didn't let you drive down the road?
maybe once, but you know, Dad. Fuck are you? No fucking way.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out Pops. But point is, my whole life, I've learned lessons from you, from observing from the back seat, and it's that driving story is a metaphor for, you know, other shit you've done that I won't do. But you've also taught me a lot of things to do, and things like work ethic and, you know, like your drive and your tenacity. You know, like you said, some people haven't, some don't. I can be aware and watch and learn. And so yeah, you know, I've been, you know, fortunate to have had a lot of lessons from you and just like other people in life. You know, I see shit happen to people from things they've done that I don't want.
For sure.
Hell no.
Right.
No thanks.
I don't want that on my doorstep.
I'll choose a different path, you know.
There's a lot too now with the era of social media and everything readily available. There's a lot to be inspired by. You know what I mean? You see a lot of shit people are doing and what they're up to and where their work ethic has gotten them. And like the crazy thing is like Instagram feeds, you can scroll back and see where people were 2 years ago, a year ago. And, you know, like the original Craft Farmer account before it went down, hopefully we get that one back. Like you could see the entire progression of my cultivation.
It's pretty incredible.
And it's like watching, like going back and looking at those pictures is like, wow, like I did all that shit. Like, you know, like just being able to look back and very inspiring and seeing other people around me and my peers and, you know, like looking back where we were 3 years ago and where we are now and all the different micro commerce and stuff happening, you know, like LA and there's all these little micro climates where we're all in the industry and making money and doing it our own way, you know, different way. You know, some people are events and tents and all this shit and brands, and that's not the only way. You know, a lot of people think like, oh, it has to be this. There's so many ways that you can make it. And there's a lot of inspiring stuff to follow online. It's never been so easy to find information and be inspired and get a hold of people and
absolutely
stuff like that.
And I think, I mean, I'm sure I can speak for a lot of people. You've become an inspiration to a lot of people with what you've done and you know, your attitude and your outlook. Like you're one of those people, which is pretty cool. It's
and I'm inspired by everybody out there. Like, dude, I think to myself, like a lot of people I meet when they're like, oh, I just started growing and I'm on your page and they show me what they're doing. I'm like, holy fuck. Like these people can easily surpass what I've been able to do in my time. Like if I could grow like fucking that 18 years ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of really cool shit going on and happening out there and stuff like that.
How's the fresh cutthroat candy looking? I heard there's some fresh about to drop.
You were over there when they were harvesting, weren't you?
I have harvested it.
How did that fucking look?
It was pretty out of control.
Right?
Definitely some of the like just most purple but frosty white sweet gassy shit I've ever seen. Even dude, the bottoms of every single plant had 50-cent piece size nugs.
And that's because we got those motherfucking
those
under canopy
canopy
lights. Shout out to the under canopy. Stop just fucking blowing up the top of your canopy with light. The bottom is where it's at.
Dude, and I can say, I mean, I you know, was in the room several times throughout the grow, but it's, you know, it's different. Like you see your room when the light's on every night, you close the door, but like when you cut it off and you hold it up, it looks different as soon as that first cut. Dude, this shit, you see the plants, but like when I was cutting it, and like even these bottom nugs are like dense purple. They smell amazing. This strain is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dude,
special.
Idea for your next t-shirt design: Under Canopy King.
Love it, bro. That's great.
But
great idea.
But yeah, no, the flower looks great. Flower looks amazing. And the harvest, I mean, dude, it was like bang, bang, bang.
Super
Cut
smooth.
everything down. Plants gone. Room's cleaned. Next day, pots are in.
There's no tiny bullshit. It was just,
dude, it was bang, bang, bang. The how many lights in that
20.
whole facility? So 20 lights.
in that room.
Harvested, cut, binned, out, cleaned, repotted,
Flowered.
replanted, flower. 2.5, less than 2 days, or less than 2.5 days.
Yeah, impressive.
It's like you blinked
That's
and you're
how
like,
it should
holy
be.
shit, it's day one right now.
Yeah.
Like very efficient. What are
How about the room on the right?
the
It
new
was
one?
just, yeah, no, the older room. That room was just
Dude,
bigger. It seemed
was
like
bigger,
massive.
bigger. Still a lot of color, but like not as dark.
Yeah.
But it's all still purple. But I mean, I don't know. Both of those rooms are
That room
really
though was
pretty.
like massive. Like looking at it, it's like, wow, this
I think that it's a little tighter quarters too.
same size,
No way.
same size benches, same
Same size
It's
benches and lights, but
little
there's
smaller.
more room to navigate
a
between
little
the
bit
aisles.
a little bit smaller in the old room.
All of it looks really good though. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, that stuff's gonna be amazing. And like, Dank Mob was just like, bro, like everybody's requesting the cutthroat. Everybody wants cutthroat candy.
Under Canopy King.
I think that's just going to be one of those, like eventually when that gets out and people get to try that flower, it's just one of those ones that comes and it's special. You know what I'm saying? So just everything that went into making that cross, it's a super, super fire strain.
Wasn't it kind of like a joke or something?
Yeah, it was. It was created as a joke.
He was just like, I'm just gonna fucking cross this.
Well, he's
this,
making
this.
all this stuff. The joke was the runts. Crossing it and putting the runts in there was the joke, you know?
Why?
Because everybody's just like, is it runts? Is it LCG? Is it pink runts, white runts, bologna runts, coochie runts, potato runts, yellow runts, banana runts?
Potato runts.
I mean,
Yeah.
onion runts.
Yeah.
The fuck is onion runts?
Because you smoke it and make your eyes cry.
Shout out to our sponsors, Grow Generation, Starfire Genetics, Tree Star, Grow Generation, Craft Farmer 10. Check out. Stop going to your local store. Get that shit delivered. That's been a fucking huge convenience for me, honestly. And you don't have to worry about fucking if you're going to get your, you know, your same deal. You can just reach out to a Grow Gen rep and get on that Grow Generation service, that new Grow Gen Advantage. That's been so fucking helpful to me. And I'm just shooting my every week, every 2 weeks, I just send a list to Matt. I'm like, process it, hit the old fucking CC ending in 9451.
Takes all the guesswork out of it.
And then I'm like, put these on revolving orders. And he does. It's been a blessing. So thank you, Grow Gen Advantage, making my life easier and sponsoring the podcast. We out.
Speaking of sponsoring the podcast, we are going to launch a new sponsorship opportunity for the podcast where you, our viewers and listeners, have an opportunity to jump on the team and sponsor us. We're going to be launching it out here pretty soon, but anybody who's interested in jumping on some sponsorship opportunities and getting your name out there and getting on the show, reach out to me, craftfarmer.owen@gmail.com.
Are we going to start doing some shit where people can buy a can? We'll be like, yo, this yerba is brought to you by Jonathan Frost up in Washington. Thank you, Jonathan. We're sipping on this yerba because of you. Shout out.
Shout out Frosty. Actually, he
Shout out
emailed me after
Megan.
the last episode.
Shout out Megan in Tennessee. Thank you for the Grow Gen sippy cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Sippy cup.
No, but seriously, we need some sponsors. We need to keep this going. We need to fucking bring some guests in. We need to fly some people in.
We need to fly some people in. Let's do it.
So please, if
Reach
you have
out.
any interest in being part of the fucking podcast, if you know a business, if you know someone in the weed industry, if you know anything like that, papers, lighters, fucking brands, whether it's any state, growing, things like that, let's go. If you like this message, if your team likes it, and you believe in what we're doing, reach out to us, please. craftfarmer.owen@gmail.com. Send a message. Tell him how he looks. Send him some referrals, please. I don't ask for much. Cut the motherfucking check.